sorts of things that make our skins itch, crawl, sore, swell,
Yes.
burn.
Actually, speaking of itching, have you heard of Demodex? This will give you a visual.
Demodex.
Demodex.
That's an ex-boyfriend of mine.
Demodex. It's a little skin mite.
Oh, right, okay.
So one of the things that can happen when people have been using different creams for years and years on end is that it can change the pH of the skin to a particular pH that allows these little mites to grow at our hair follicle base. And I remember the first time I ever heard of them, it was at a seminar about, 10, 12, 13 years ago or something like that. And you can imagine there was like a 6 by 10 metre screen, and they showed this they showed a close-up of these mites at the base of a hair follicle, and there were like 20 in the base. So, yeah, I know. And everyone started scratching their head and setting a little... Yeah. No, it's not. But it's not lice, it's a mite. Yeah. So, and because the pH of a lot of skin supplements aren't what they, skin creams, they're not what they should be. So our skin should actually be quite acidic. Mm. So the skin is an acid base of about 5.5. Whereas a lot of things when they say, because I think it's like a popular thing to think if you're alkalizing the skin, you're doing a lot of good stuff. So things like sorbeline, their pH is like 7.5.
That's what I normally use.
Yeah, so that can create an environment that changes your microbes on your skin and allows stuff like that. Which is why, so then thinking about your skin, what can you do? So it takes time. But have you heard of dry skin brushing, for example? Yeah, so you get yourself a nice stiff natural brush and you use it on your skin towards your heart, so towards the lymphatic system. So you sort of want to go from your toes up to your heart, from your hands towards your heart, and sort of do it in everywhere you can reach. And basically that helps to start releasing some of the gunge that we've built up in our skin for years and years and years.
Skin's turning,
and and it's done dry, and of course you wash your brush every week or so, but done dry it's actually stimulating the lymphatic system in underneath there. So just in underneath the skin is the lymph. So anyone who's ever had, say, a lymphatic drainage massage, it's a really light massage, it's not deep. So because once you go deep, you're not touching the lymph. The lymph is, people doing lymphatic drainage can do quite a firm movement in the areas where the master lymph nodes are, but that's more stimulating, and once you've moved everything towards those lymph nodes.
It hurts. Have you ever had a lymph?
Oh yeah, no, I'm trained in it.
Yeah, it hurts. I sit there all the time and go. Oh.
Really? It shouldn't hurt.
Oh, it does. It's I'm a sook.
No. It shouldn't hurt. So they might not be working your lymph. They might be doing something else.
Maybe it's just I don't want people touching me.
Maybe.
A good massage is different, but these massages are good anyway.
That's the way I was trained anyway, and certainly my teacher was very fanatical about it because. Yes, because
probably
she was.
Probably a bit different now to how they did it. This was going back a long time ago. But and I was young, and obviously I was probably a bit of a sook, really.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, so in these wire brushes that you're talking about, to scratch the skin a little bit, and you were explaining towards the heart.
Yes.
So can you just go over that a little bit more? Why towards the heart and not? Most things you do away from the body.
Yes.
For cleansing of any sort. So how come towards the heart?
Because your lymphatic system starts at your sinuses, they're in the throat, they're in your under your armpits, they're in your breast tissue, they're right behind the sternum. So you want to actually push all that lymph and the toxins towards the major area of your body where your major lymph nodes are.
And then they're going to be there to filter
That's
them
right.
and do their work instead of just sitting everybody else.
There's actually, that's an idea. Okay, just had an idea. So there's actually a move that I used to tell people for 10 years after I learnt the Bowen technique. So you've heard of Bowen technique? So Tom Bowen was a dude from Geelong, Victoria, and he was an old farmer who just basically found some technique that helped people with their pain. I think he worked on his animals and horses first, but anyway, started moving on to humans, and it's not a bad little technique. So anyway, one of the things that he would do, women who would get breast tissue tenderness, there's a particular technique that specifically moves all the lymph around the breasts. And in my family, we've got a lot of breast cancer and things like that. So I've taught it to a whole bunch of my aunts. I've got 8 of them on that side of the family. So, it's sort of one of those things that I believe it can really change people's lives, by knowing how to do something like that.
And people that do suffer from skin conditions, they tend not to go and get massages or things like that because their skin is either very inflamed, very irritable,
Yeah.
They're not feeling very comfortable. A lot of people don't want to go into the sun because it dries it up. So, you know, if they want to go and have any of these massages, it restricts them.
It does. And it's just about finding a therapist who knows what to do as well. Because obviously with someone with skin conditions, you're going to avoid the worst areas, but by working everything around it, you're still going to get that detoxification happening. You're still going to get that better. Because you think about the lymph, there's more lymph in the body than there is blood. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of it. And it's your detox pathways. So when we're getting swelling and fluid and that sort of thing, our lymph isn't taking the toxins out of our body. So just taking a diuretic, as we've chatted about before, just taking a diuretic doesn't fix the toxicity. All it does is stops you from being so fluidy, but the toxins stay in your body in a less fluidy body. Yeah. So then you become chronically dehydrated the longer we take diuretics. Yeah. So with the lymphatic system, there are like big doses of vitamin C, fantastic for the lymphatic system. And I'm talking like 5 grams a day. So, and vitamin C, one of those things, if you take too much ascorbic acid, it's an acid. So people can sort of lose the enamel on their teeth and that type of thing. You're better off with a buffered vitamin C. It's got to be alkaline. So then it breaks apart in the small intestine and you don't get acidic from it. Yeah. So you've got to be careful what you choose, you know, with supplements as well. Because if you're taking big doses, you can also cause big problems if you get dodgy versions.
That's right. And really, like, you know, unless your diet isn't adequate, supplements are good, but not good for all people. Because, I mean, I don't know how many times, you know, we'd sit there and prescribe someone, look, maybe you should take a supplement. And then in the end, the specialist came back to us and said, well, really, no, because he's fit, he's healthy, he's consuming quite a lot of diet, he doesn't need a supplement. If people take supplements and they've got a healthy diet, you can then have too much of a good thing, which will then create other things. So, you know, if you've got too much minerals, too much vitamin B, too much vitamin C, whatever it is, you know, that can become quite toxic and sit in places where it doesn't get filtered. You know,
yeah. So things like your fat-soluble vitamins, you can absolutely build those up in the body, A, D, E, K. Your water-soluble vitamins, you'll just pee them out if there's too much of it. But these days, one of the big buzzwords around, certainly in naturopathic circles, is the MTHFR gene. And if people have that and they're taking a cheap B vitamin that isn't activated Bs, that can actually cause anxiety and stress and all sorts of things. That's right. So, you know, once again, it's about knowing your body and knowing, you know, and talking to someone who knows what they're talking about.
Like you.
Like me.
That's what I mean.
Well, it is, you know, and this is the sort of thing that naturopaths are trained in.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And that's why you're a naturopath and I'm not. Because I have clinical knowledge but not naturopathic knowledge. But, you know, that's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
We're going to go to a quick break again right now. I've got some great songs coming up. In fact, Steve, Andy, Mick, you're up.